Good morning, everybody on the west coast of the Atlantic Ocean, and for those on the east coast of the Atlantic Ocean, good afternoon. It is the Oswald Cup 2025, coming down to the last few matches of the round of 16 stage. We got the United States versus France on the A stream. For the B stream, which we are here, we have Spain versus Argentina, losers bracket matchup. Both of these teams have very similar skill sets, so this should be a quite interesting match on paper. I'm Fire Rage, going to be joined in by Lighten. How's it going, Lighten?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you for asking, Fiery, and indeed, a lot of these skill sets are contested for both these teams. You take a look at Spain and Argentina, obviously the seeds number 20 and 30, but nonetheless, this is going to be closer than you might think. Argentina looking so good on those mechanics. Spain too. And the same can be said about precision as well. Spain does feel a little comfortable on that low AR and gimmick, so I would expect for them to go for something like the 5 and maybe hit into. But other than that, every single map pick, except for those skill sets, is going to be a great struggle for both of these teams. We already see a Nomad 2 ban from Spain opting not to play that mechanics, 250 BPM speed, while Argentina, I would imagine it would go for something like Hidden 2, Fiery.
It's already kind of what we're already kind of throwing a wrench into every plan that we had, because Spain actually had one of the top scores in Nomad 2, I think both in qualifiers and last weekend. I believe number 2 on both of those weekends, so having them ban it is very interesting, but also it just kind of shows that both of these teams are very good at this skill set. They know that going into it, and it's just whether or not they're comfortable on the map. I guess Spain just not super confident on Nomad 2, so I'm just wanting to get rid of it.
Yep, 250 BPM speed, a little different from the Nomad 2 that was last week, which was about 230, a lot less stamina and a lot less demanding when it comes to the tapping there, so I would partially understand that. On the other side though, Argentina, they can definitely do well on that. Basically a 4-way FC on the DT2 with a similar BPM last stage, which is probably the indicator why Spain decided to ban this instead of something like DT2, which is more towards that Nomad 2 area from the last stage. But that being said though, Argentina is going to be their turn to ban. They are taking their sweet time, and with that being said, what do you think is going to be the ban here from Argentina, Fiery?
I think realistically speaking, you're probably right. It's going to be one of the reading maps. Hidden 2 is most likely the option. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see Nomad 5 banned if they just don't want to deal with that. Nomad 3, I mean, that also makes sense. Nomad 3 is a bit more of a gimmicky, alt-oriented map, and both these teams necessarily didn't do the greatest on that map. So getting rid of one of the skill sets that you're not necessarily the best at, might as well. And then take the toss-up point on some of the reading maps if you want. Since I believe either of them can go either way, and we're just getting right into, oh my god.
Immediately, 0 second, no hesitation, we are going to Pauling there. Spain looking confident to abuse that advantage in gimmick and reading, and this one is going to be just about it. Nomad 5 in Osu original for this stage, mapped by none other than Rusi Aika, and obviously the song by the great Glad Pauling. This is a song that takes you on a journey, but I think Fiery knows this map better than, well, almost anyone in this VC at the very least.
CS6 semi-precision map. Very hard to read, lots of random snappings. It is, PvP kind of having a funny moment there. Let's get the client all settled up there. Hold on a minute. Get it slightly adjusted. Bit more to the left. There we go. I don't know what happened there, but something happened and it's fixed now, so good work.
I love rectangles.
Good work, everybody behind the scenes. We already got our rosters in for this. I think we need some of the players to swap slots. I know Aleph is definitely not Argentinian, so we'll be seeing a couple of swaps here as we get the final rosters in place, and it seems like pretty much the rosters are already ready. Yep. Holodex, Marble, Scorpio, and Aleph on the side of Spain. Bomilk, PP on the side of Argentina. I just don't want to say the full name. Amaro and Smash K on the side of Argentina.
I'm not gonna lie, PP Poopa sounds better than PP, but that being
said, you're kind of screwed no matter what you decide to do there. Pee pee,
That's
you're
true.
screwed. Poo poo, you're screwed. Like it's just it's kind of over.
I
Nonetheless,
get that.
this is a very interesting map. I'm interested to see how both these teams perform on this. We haven't necessarily seen some of even the greatest teams like Australia is what I meant on this. Not necessarily do the greatest. We have a couple of solo carry performances, so I'm very interested to see how this goes. Lots of awkward snapping at high precision. This map is just kind of demon mode in general.
Indeed it is, and so far, not the greatest start from Speedy here. This map is very, very short, hovering about that 1 minute and 39-second mark, so every single miss is gonna matter. And with that miss from Aleph and Paldex in the beginning, it looks a little shaky, but still, Smashgate does find a miss, and we are transitioning into a more intense section so far. Amaru finds a miss as well. Bullmilk and the scoop below, the misses are there. Marble also, that gimmick player from Speed, also down, and no more combos. Never mind, Marble, the Bancho is there to save them, but still, it does seem like it's going more towards the left as there's no combos on the Argentinian side.
Everyone's just kind of missing everywhere right now. Aleph is the only one to hold through that entire section with any semblance of combo. Accuracy, non-existent. Bullmilk is the highest with 95%. So we get into a funny slider section. We've seen a couple of players just cheese the slider, not wanting to follow it fully, and most of those players do the same thing. Bullmilk actually drops a high combo, and that gives Spain a very noticeable advantage. Aleph just holding on to this combo throughout this entire section. Finally going to be dropping it.
Though, sadly, but still, this is a pretty big score lead here. The highest combo in the lobby is going to be Amaro, also finding a break out of Spain with a 100,000 advantage. Pretty comfortable first pick for them. A little shaky in the start, but looking so good here as they take the first point on the board. Really confident from their side. Aleph and Marble doing the job for the Spanish roster. On the opposite end, though, it was Smashgate with the highest score. 367,000 to their name, and now it's going to be Argentina's turn to pick and Argentina's turn to choose.
Yeah, probably the hardest map in the pool by a very wide margin. Like I said, we haven't seen many of the teams do exceptionally well on that, even some of the top teams, so low scores are kind of to be expected, especially low accuracies with the weird snappings on a lot of these notes. But Spain, overall team consistency on that, doing wonders for them, so winning their first pick. By 200k, very solid margin, especially on that map. So we get to Argentina's follow-up pick. Not too sure if they would want to go for speed quite yet, but we might see that come in here. Either that or some precision, but I'm not too sure if we have that much precision in the pool, honestly.
Yeah, like the closest thing to precision is going to be Fremont 2 if you have to play it with Hard Rock, but other than that, you have H Hard 2, which is going to be your flow aim precision with streams, but we see a DT2 instead opting to go for that mechanics and speed. This is going to be a classic Senya satellite. This is basically just the definition of an old school DT2 in Argentina. They eat those up well. But Spain, they can also do really well on that as well. 234 BPM, 2 minutes long, a lot of bursts, triples, and stamina also tested a little bit here, but the speed is going to be the main skill set. And Argentina, we've seen them do well on the DT2 last week with a 4.4 million team score. Let's see whether they will be able to replicate that in this stage as well.
You know, Argentina had 2 of the top scores on the DT2 during the group stage last week. They are very, very comfortable on this. Not surprising in the slightest to see them pick into it. I was just not entirely sure if they would want to pick into it first, but you know, might as well pick into your best skill set.
Yep. I mean, it's about the comfort here, and when you are a lower seeded team, I think this is probably the best strategy to try and go for that comfort that you have yourself. You know you're going to do well, and you know that you can deliver, so why not just pick the map, even if the opponent will be feeling comfortable on that too. I feel like this is the Giga Chat move here from Argentina, and with the good luck of funds now in the chat, we are going to be transitioning into this DT2 satellite map. I am excited, Fiery.
It should be very interesting. As we said at the very beginning, both these teams are hotly contested in terms of the speed skill set, so this could go either way depending on unlucky misses from either of these teams. But we will see what happens. We get into the map.
See what happens indeed. So far, the start is a little bit slower. Will pick up eventually, though. But nonetheless, so far, so good for both of these teams. A little bit of an over-aim I have seen on Visobio like, but the combo is there, and that's what matters. Still a lot of room for maneuvers, a lot of room for misses, and definitely a lot of room to hold up your accuracy to see that speed comfort, as Baby Scylla is going to be the first one to find a miss, which gives an early advantage to Argentina. The first PI now on the board on our screens, and Argentina looking oh so comfortable with their accuracies. Visobio like and Topi, though, losing a little bit of that accuracy in the PI, but still Sejong and PP Poo looking so good and so confident as the first PI finishes.
It's just that one miss right now making all the difference. Accuracy across the board for everyone really is fairly decent. Sejong having the best accuracy by far. People as well almost had the best accuracy, but it just completely died on that one stream. Still holds the combo though, miraculously, so that's what matters, I suppose, at the end of the day.
A little bit of a shaky stream there for PP Poo, but the combo is there. Baby Scylla also good on recovery. Sejong and Tofi, 2 misses from the Argentinian side. This one is going to collapse basically on the hardest part of the map. Is now starting off with those streams, and so far those 2 misses, Townie and Sejong and PP Poo all missing. It's just Visobio like against 2 FCs from Spain, and Baby Scylla with the recovery. It switched in a second basically, and as the streams goes on, it looks like Spain will be in the lead, with Visobio like being the only FC to hold for Argentina.
Yeah, they're going to see that at the break. Spain don't really have any pressure on them. Alex, unfortunate side break there. Nope, that was Bancho. We love the Bancho client. We already had a couple Bancho side breaks. That's an actual miss, though, over aiming on that stream. So it will be just the singular FC for Mr. Peel.
Yep, and a good recovery from Baby Scylla as well. That early miss, but still managing to hold on through the hardest part of the map and finishing the map instead with an S rank 2. And suddenly, Argentina's confidence is starting to waver. Spain get the break point, 2-0 lead, and the best way to consolidate this with their own pick. And they have a lot of options. We talked about the hidden 2, about that reading gap that Spain has over Argentina. And I think I will not be surprised to see that hidden 2 being picked almost immediately, Fiery.
I'm not too sure about immediately, honestly. That speed pick went pretty well for them. They could opt to go for hidden 1 if they wanted to. It is a similar speed-oriented map with the hidden mod, which I think Spain does a bit better than Argentina on overall. I think that would be a decent pick. They could also just opt to go for DT1. We've seen a lot of teams do very well on that map.
That's true. DT1 is probably going to be the most contested out of all these 2 maps. So, as you have mentioned, that hidden 1 also looking really good for Spain, and they have decisions to make here. But I'm still leaning towards that hidden 2, that reading that Spain did pretty well, especially with Marble on Nomad free for the last week on the group stage. And I think this is going to be their choice, most likely. I'm not sure. But that being said, Argentina also will have to get the point on the board to try and not get the Spain the momentum, because if Spain takes this, then Argentina is going to be in trouble. We do see a hidden 2 being picked from Spain to try and consolidate their earlier breakpoint and run away with the score lead of 3-0, but Argentina, they need this point right here and right now.
So both teams going for more or less the expected picks for the first 3 maps here. Going to be a bit more interesting as I think things progress. I think Argentina after this probably just picks into DT1 or a similar speed map, but for now, hidden 2. We already were mentioning Spain somewhat favored on the AR8 hidden. So once again, not horribly surprising to see this pick come out from them.
Yep, a lot of aim also tested in this particular map, and a few stream sections here and there. I think there's a stream section on the second third of the map that might catch a few combos off guard and be responsible for a few of those misses, but still, Spain on paper should be looking better on this one in comparison to Argentina. But Argentina is a tough nut to crack. They can also play their reading not as well as Spain did on the last group stage, but still, they can definitely do something and show something here. Marble, the main player to look out for on that Spanish roster, their reading specialist, all eyes are going to be on them while we see LF and Escupillo finishing up that puzzle for the Spanish lineup. And with that, we are slowly going to be transitioning into this Hidden 2. Smashgate, PP Pupu, Pengo, and Bowmilk on the opposing side to try and stop Spain from getting the third point on the board.
Escupillo, I will pray for you on the Hidden 2. You will get at least 500k. It is okay, man. I understand your pain.
He was forced to play Hidden.
Surely it won't go horribly wrong.
Real.
Nonetheless, this is definitely a map where even if you don't have necessarily the most confident 4-man roster on it, you could still pick into it if you have a very confident carry on this. So, we'll see how it goes for either of these teams. Once again, this is a loser's bracket match. Whoever loses this is eliminated from the tournament, so Spain in a pretty comfortable position here early on. And everyone in a comfortable position on this map. No one having any issues with some of these direct overlaps.
Yep, the full stack reading not catching anyone so far. The accuracy is going to be favoring Spain earlier on. A few misses coming in from Paladex and Smashgate with those early misses. A complete trade here. A little bit of a full stack reading on this overlap too. Paladex also finding yet another miss, which does give that edge towards Argentina with Smashgate. Recovering the combo, not anymore, as we are now going to be into the first Skiai. Penglo finds a miss on the Argentinian side, which leaves the free FCs versus 2 for Spain and gives them that edge.
A slight combo advantage from the miss from Penguo. 3 FCs to 2 in the early stages here. Make that 3 FCs to 1 as PP misses on the 5-no Pentagon burst there. And this is looking very strong for Spain already as we approach the halfway point. 150 score lead. 150k score lead, my apologies. And climbing.
Does keep going towards the left, though. The time is of the essence. If you are rooting for Argentina, you might want to look and see those misses from Spain, but they're not coming in just yet. The slow section, letting them build that combo, letting them build that advantage. Here comes the stream part. Here comes that interesting part here, but still Bowmilk is going to be the only one to find a miss here. No one from Spain even dares to think about the miss. The concept is not there, and those 3 FCs are still standing. Penguin also the last chance for Argentina finally falling, and with that, the 3 FCs for Spain just continue to hold on and look at that dominance fiery. They are just unstoppable.
Yeah, no, this is a kind of insane team score, honestly. S-Group having absolutely no issue. I don't know why he said he was forced to play Hidden 2. This guy's kind of just dominating right now. Highest accuracy in the lobby by a wide margin. Okay, well, that's what I get for mentioning his name, unfortunately. Nonetheless, well above 500k, which is what I set for the baseline goal for him, so good job on that. Aleph, the only FC remaining, as Marble also drops on one of the hard-aimed sections there. We'll see if he can close that out, but this is a already said and done deal for Spain, no matter what happens here.
Yep, looking to get that 3 million score. All eyes are on Aleph, and a 1.1 million score difference for the Spanish roster to close out this Hidden 2 with a style, and Aleph with an FC. 3-0 Argentina, slowly losing the grip on this game, but oh my god, Spain, you did so well here, both the Scrupolo, Marble, and Aleph. This is a ridiculous team score, Fiery, and I think the players also know that, and now, when you are Argentina, you're 3-0, and you gotta try and come back into the game. Will you try something different, or will you go with the same strategy? And it looks like they do. They immediately pick that DT1, as that we have mentioned prior.
Yeah, this was I think the last obvious pick that we were going to be seeing this match. So, getting it out of the way. DT1 for Argentina. Definitely had a bit of an unlucky run, I'd say, on DT2 compared to what we would expect from them. So, wanting to make up for that with the AR9 DT aim pick.
Yep, the difficulty spike on that DT2, basically eliminating 3 players' combos on the Argentinian side despite them having an advantage. Just switching the score lead entirely for just one section, but this DT1 is going to be a lot easier in comparison. Still adding some elements of aim, still a lot of bursts too, so on paper, Argentina should be feeling comfortable to try and take the first point on the board to not let Spain run away, because if you lose this one, Spain will be on the match point, and the match point on their own pick, they might as well just close it out if you lose this. So So this is a point that Argentina needs desperately.
It's very interesting, though. As we said, this is kind of the last map we would expect to be seen in this match. So anything from this point onwards is kind of, I think, toss-up territory, or at least more toss-up than some of the other maps that we've seen.
Indeed, and looks like the lineups already: Junamat, Dekori, Aleph, and Scrupolo on the side of Spain, Visovio, like Piki Pupu, Tofi, and Sejong on the opposing side. This is going to be the highest star rating map in this entire pool, maybe excluding the tiebreaker. With double time, this is about 7.5, but we have already seen a lot of these teams doing so good on this particular skill set and this particular map. So I would imagine that both of these teams are definitely capable of those 4-way FCs. And with that, the map starts on 267 BPM aim with a burst, 2 minutes long and definite, and also AR 10.3, adding that high AR reading into the equation too. And we are starting off Fiery.
Pretty short double time map, just under 2 minutes. Early misses still shouldn't matter too much. Junamat finds 1. Gives a slight combo lead in favor of Argentina early on, which is going to be negated pretty much immediately. Tofi and Vizio as well, all breaking in the beginning. Just not really having... There's a lot of shaky combos in the beginning here. A lot more than I was expecting.
Yup. Gotta have to second that. A lot of shaky combos, a lot of shaky misses too, but still the comfort level on Argentinian side looking good with those accuracies. 2 players above the 99% threshold as we are slowly transitioning into the bridge section, going into the first carry relatively soon. But still, the combo advantage and the miss from Fisobio-like is going to hurt them significantly as Spain will take that lead earlier on. Still holding on to those triple FCs and a recovery from Junamat, while Tofi is going to be the only recovery for Argentina and 2 FCs on their side.
And missing on the jump section immediately after the break is not going to be helping things either. Tofi and Vizio both missing there. And this is a very comfortable 3-way FC currently, and Junamat with a very solid... Okay, well, that's what I get for mentioning his name. Still a very solid 3-way FC coming in for Spain, and that's, at the end of the day, what's most important. That's what's making all the difference right here, even as Junamat finds a couple of misses here. Score lead is still going to be climbing well in favor of Spain as we approach the last fourth. Sejong misses, and I think that's about going to do it.
Yep, the only one to try and stop the Spaniards is going to be Pipi Pupu with a 99% FC, but it is negated by both Aleph, Scrupolo, and Dekori. Scrupolo does find a miss, traded immediately by Pipi Pupu, though, as those 2 FCs are going to be closing out this map with a style for Spain to get the match point, their 4th point on the board, and now Argentina will be quartered. This is a 4th point for Spain, and they do that with a 735,000 lead. Argentina still silent, still unable to find their game against the Spanish roster.
And this is where we get into more of the toss-up territory. So if the comeback is going to start anywhere, obviously it has to start here because they're down match point already. But this is, I think, where we might see a few upsets potentially. I'm trying to curse it into existence.
I do get that, but if you are Spain, if you want to close out this match with a 5-0 to sweep Argentina, what would you go for, Fiery?
Frankly, I have no idea, honestly. I think...
That's fair.
I still think Hidden 1 would be a good pick. I don't know if they want to go for that, though. They might just go for some random comfort pick that they might feel confident on, which honestly could be anything in this pool. It's a lot of very comfortable maps. I think of everything, if they wanted to go for something a bit more out there, No Mod 4 is a potential option, or Free Mod 2. Free Mod 2 actually could be an option if they want to stick with relative low AR.
Yep, I'm honestly more leaning towards that Free Mod 2 territory, because Marble will be able to close out a pretty good score with this on Hidden. Then you have someone like Aleph or Scrupolo with the Hard Rock to basically just secure those 2 modifications. And yeah, we do see a Free Mod 2 being picked from Spain here, and with that, Argentina are in big trouble. They gotta lock in now, otherwise they are going to be eliminated from this tournament. This is a tournament point for Argentina, so if you want to start a comeback, this is definitely the time to start it off with this Free Mod 2 an image to try and pursue, as Spain still looking flawless throughout this entire match.
God, I love rateyourmusic.com.
What is that referencing?
It is referencing the fact that this is a cult hit of past year's albums. A lot of people like Magdalena Bay, and especially this album.
This is a certified banger, and it looks like we already have the lineups already for both of these teams. Aleph, Townie, One Marble, and Baby Scylla. A few changes going to be on the Argentinian side as Amuro also joins in with DB Pupu, Smashkey, and Sejong. This is going to be a custom from none other than Devious Panda. This is also going to be your anti-mod, basically. Obviously, the AR is going to be a little higher to try and balance out the hidden and hard rock modifications. About pretty much lengthy as well. 3.5 minutes in length, and a little bit of that alt aim, if one could say so. It's basically snub alt, 128 ppm, as we are not wasting any time here. Baby Scylla with the hidden hard rock, Aleph with the hidden on the opposing side, and Marble also probably going with hidden. They might be overmodding this, but Argentina, Amuro, PP Pupu, and Sejong overmods throughout the entire board for both of these teams. Interesting.
We're probably going to be getting an abort here, I imagine. As I saw prior in the chat, yeah, Bancho issue for Marble. So, going to be getting a quick abort there to get him into the match.
Yep.
But yeah, I imagine the mod combos are going to remain the same. So, Sejong, Amuro on the hard rock, Pupu on the hidden. We got hidden hard rock coming in, I believe, on Baby Scylla. If I was correct on my assumption. Yep, there it is. And Aleph on the hidden. Otherwise, 2 no-mods on the side of Spain.
Interesting to see Marble opting to go for a no-mod here instead of hidden. One would think that as a reading specialist, you might want to close this map out with the hidden modification, but I guess that AR 8.5 gives a slight edge for Aleph to try and play this with hidden instead. Townie 1, though, I guess we're going to see another abort, or if that's even allowed. A little bit of a shaky start here from Townie, but still does have the lead for Spain in that earlier section.
I think that was just kind of an unlucky note lock more than anything. It's not going to make a huge difference, as Pupu also struggling on that beginning slightly, so it's going to be relatively even in the beginning.
Indeed, a lot off the map left, a lot of room for maneuvering, so a lot of misses will be expected on the entire map itself, especially on the more hotter section as we are now transitioning into the exact one, the Ki on the board, but still the free FCs for Spain holding on tight as free FCs for Argentina are also there. Tiny One finds a miss and hidden hard rock is down for Baby Scylla, as Argentina are going to be running away with this so far. The first time in the entire matchup that they are able to enjoy the advantage, as Smashkey and Baby Scylla also find another misses. 2 FCs against 2 with a really good recovery from Amuro on the hard rock.
It's just these very solid 3 combos right now holding for Argentina. Spain not really able to counteract the recovery from Amuro. Marble goes as well. This is looking to be a definite first step in Argentina's comeback at the very least. Sejong still holding on to the FC. Their only remaining FC in the lobby as we get to the halfway point. If that FC does drop and Smash K drops as well, then things can potentially get a bit interesting. But for right now, this is looking very one-sided in favor of Argentina.
Yep, still a half of the map left though, and Sejong continues to hold on to exacerbate the situation even further for Spain. 300,000 difference and growing as Sejong continues to hold on to that hard rock combo. Amuro finds a miss, but not gonna hurt them significantly as it's not the main combo source for Argentina. But the recoveries are coming in from Spain. Still a third of the map left. The second Ki on our screens. Amuro, another miss here, unable to find the combo. But look at Sejong. Never mind.
That's what you get for mentioning his name, and I think with that,
My bad.
the comeback is truly dead. Well, actually, not entirely, I suppose, as a lot of Spain also misses. Just Aleph on the high combo countering Pupu at the moment. Smash K countering at Townie's no-mod combo. It's gonna slightly shift over in favor of Argentina, not really by a massive margin, though. They're gonna need way more than just that, and with Smash K missing on that square, I think that just about does it.
But still 260,000 difference. This is going to be an uphill battle, especially with that miss from Aleph. Argentina finally found an answer, and this was Spain's pick, mind you, so definitely a little bit of a mispick here from the Spanish roster, maybe a little bit of a low roll as well. But Argentina, 2 million team score to finish out this map. PP Poo finds a miss at the very end too, not being able to hold on for that final combo. And with that, Spain, they did not have enough of the map.
I think the map ended early, that's why he left.
I think that was Bancho, yeah.
It doesn't matter anyway, we would have taken the score that he had when he disconnected, and by far, Argentina still won that, so... It wouldn't make a difference, even if it was an accidental Bancho disconnect, but I'm pretty sure that was just because the map ended prior to us seeing the map end.
Yep.
So 200k in favor of Argentina. Very solid start for their potential comeback here. Apparently it was a disconnect. We just got confirmation from the streamer, but nonetheless, we take the score from when they disconnected, so.
Yep. An interesting choice there, but still Argentina are hanging on by a thread. Spain losing their own pick to give Argentina some breathing room to finally try and come back into this match. They took 4 points in a row. Now it's going to be Argentina's turn to try and do that to make that flawless run possible. But with the DT1 and DT2 out of the equation, what do you have left as Argentina? You might want to go for that precision, maybe HR2, maybe you might want to go for something like Fremont 1, maybe? The options are very limited for Argentina, but out of all of these, I think you either go for HR2, Nomad 1, or Fremont 1.
I mean, we'll see what they opt to go for. Like I said, there's not really a clear-cut pick for either of these teams going forward.
Yeah. You might want to consider going into the HR1 territory to that awkward aim as well. You just have to open up basically a new front line, a new skill set to try and scout this out. And when you are on a match point, this is a very dangerous occasion. And by the looks of it, I'm seeing DT3 in the chat, so it might be the pick, or are they discussing
That's
it?
Spain trying to get them to pick. That's Spain trying to get them to pick DT3, and they're not going to bite that. They're going to be going for Fremont 3 instead.
Fremont 3, a map by Toybot, Liar Dancer. This is going to be your circle tech, also known as flow tech as well. 3 minutes and 30 seconds long. An interesting choice here from Argentina, considering that the tech element, I mean, Spain looked quite good on this throughout both of these stages for both qualifiers and for both group stages, but if you're Argentina, you might want to go for those comfort picks, and I feel like this is a choice for them here. What are your thoughts on this pick, Fiery?
I mean, like I said, it comes down to comfort level at this point. If Argentina's feeling more comfortable on this map compared to everything else, might as well go for it. So this is where we start to get into the a lot more of a toss-up territory between these two teams. We already saw that with Fremont 2 being picked. So maybe wanting to stick with Fremont, as they got a pretty decent win on Fremont 2. Who knows? Very interested to see how the rest of this match goes.
Yep, this is going to be an uphill battle for Argentina to try and come back from this massive score deficit. 4-1 is definitely a scoreline to come back from, especially considering that it was a 4-0 earlier on. A miraculous comeback here from Argentina is possible, just very unlikely, but we are living to see whether this will actually happen in this matchup. The rosters are ready. Aleph, Decory, Palex, Scrupolo from the Spanish side. Amaro, Pipi, Poo, Milk, and Spashki for Argentina. 3 minutes and 30 seconds long. I would imagine that Aleph will opt to go for a hit maybe this time once again, and the Scrupolo might be on the Hard Rock, as Paladex will tank it once more. Similar situation might be for Argentina, and with the good luck of funds in the chat, we are going to be transitioning into this Fremont 3 relatively shortly.
More bog standard mods, what you'd consider to see from the side of both of these teams, really. 2 no mods, 1 hidden, 1 hard rock. The hidden being on Aleph and Poo, and hard rock on Amaro and Escrapio. So more or less what we saw with Fremont 2, just without the hidden hard rock.
Yep. Also, Argentina also had 2 Hard Rocks on the Fremont 2. This time, no overmodding present entirely in this, and I would imagine that this is definitely a case because this map is a lot more difficult than the Fremont 2, as Scrupolo, with an early miss with the Hard Rock, will give Argentina an early lead here. But still, this map is relatively long, so this might be just the beginning. But Argentina, they need this point to try and live out for as long as possible. Spain still on the match point. One mistake and you are gone. And when the Lion is quartered, the Lion must try to find something. This is when they get the most dangerous as well. Scrupolo, also another miss, not helping the situation for Spain, exacerbating the score lead even further towards Argentina's side as those 4 FCs remain standing.
Luckily for them, this is a fairly lengthy map, so lots of potential for trades as you see Smash K and Amaro both break, so just like that, combo lead back in favor of Spain in the first course.
Yup, 2 FCs against 2 Scrupolo. Another miss here, not being able to hold the combo. Still 3 FCs on the side of Spain. Amaro also another miss here. The transition is going to be there on the Spain side. Aleph also finding a miss though. The hidden is going to be down, and so is PP Pupu's hidden as well. Both hidden players missing almost at exactly the same time, and Paladex and Decori are going to be battling it out with Bomilk. But look at that. Still, the recoveries are coming in from Argentina. Smash Key, a little bit of a recovery here, but the combo advantage is going to be on Spain's side. Very dangerous for Argentina, hanging on by a thread. And if you want to survive, if you want to live longer in this tournament, you gotta hope for more misses from either Paladex and Decori. And here comes the first one. Decori finds a miss. Now you gotta hope for another one from Paladex and pray for Bullmilk to hold on. Still, the second Ki on the board, and Paladex just continues to hold on.
Unfortunately, if you're relying on Bomilk to combo something, you're in a pretty decent position, I think, as he's definitely one of the more consistent Argentine players. Argentine players. And of course, why would it be any other different? Why would it be any different than a slider break as soon as I even think about mentioning his name? Paladex holding on to the FC. This score lead is immediately shifted over to Spain, and just like that, I think this is now unrecoverable.
Yeah, it all came down to Bomilk's shoulders, but Paladex was the one to win the race, to continue to hold on to that combo. Still, 1500 combo basically with Aleph, a huge recovery on the hidden modification, 240,000 lead. The players see the scores, and I think this just about settles it. The players understand their fate, and Spain, to close this out on the final Ki, Paladex and Aleph will be missing 250,000 score advantage. I don't think there might be enough time. Smash Key, the only one with the combo, especially with that triple miss from Argentina. All the chances, all the opportunities, and all the dreams basically just gone in an instant. And Paladex is going to be the executioner for Argentina, dealing that final blow on this Fremont 3. And with that, Spain will be advancing further into the quarterfinals, while Argentina will be eliminated from OSU World Cup 2025.
Just unfortunate slider breaks from Bomilk there at the middle section. Paladex capitalizing off that, securing the top score in the lobby. 5-1 is the final score line for Spain. We'll be saying goodbye to Argentina from the OSU World Cup. Spain, as you said, progresses into the quarterfinals weekend. One more week for them to show their stuff, whether or not they are deserving of a better placement than I think they've ever really gotten before. Unless I'm misremembering. I don't think they've ever actually went into the semifinals.
I don't think they were in the quarterfinals either. I think they lost most of their matches. One of the first wins were in the group stage of this year, so definitely a huge milestone for Spain, which we congratulate them with. And Argentina also sadly being eliminated. Nice try from them, and hopefully we will see them to come back even stronger than ever for the next iteration, for the next hosting of OSU World Cup. But with that, the focus goes on to Spain. A really stellar performance there, taking 2 break points from Argentina. A little bit of a shaky performance on the Fremont too, but still, this is a masterclass from the Spaniards. And with that, Fiery, do you have any final words to say for this matchup?
For this matchup in particular, not really. I think you summed it up pretty nicely. Outside of that, though, we got still 2 more matches remaining. United States versus France is still happening on the A stream. They were a bit delayed, I believe, from Finland versus Peru, but that is still going on. France actually took a map, which I think surprises a lot of people just off the get-go. I think everyone has expected the United States to just sweep, but that should be an interesting matchup. And then immediately after that, we have Germany versus Brazil to cap things up, and then the quarterfinal map pool showcase shortly after that. That's going to do it for us, though, on the B stream. It's been Fire Rage and Lighten. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next time.